Coming to you live from Tampa, Florida. Kendrick Johnson in the house. Across the border, my man James Lynch holding it down in Vancouver, Canada. Together, we form the 1-2. Episode 2 is live in effect. What's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
I am doing well, man. Not as good as you, though. I wish I was down in Florida enjoying some nice sun, although we're getting some sun here in Vancouver, but definitely a lot warmer over there. And we're turning up the heat on today's show, aren't we? We got a huge guest on.
Yeah, the undisputed 135-pound champion, WBO, IBF, WBA, Mr. Teofimo Lopez. And we may even get his dad, Teofimo Sr., who, as people know, was the 2020 Ring Magazine Trainer of the Year and one of the biggest characters in the boxing sport today. I don't know what he gonna say, but James, I guarantee you're gonna laugh at you out of Teofimo Sr.
I'm ready for it. Let's bring it on. Let's take it on. So we're just waiting for Teofimo Sr. and Jr. to hop on here. We'll let you guys know when that happens. In the meantime, if you guys are watching this live, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you missed episode 1 last week, we had Rashad Evans on. Really good chat talking about the John Jones situation with the Derek Lewis fight. He recapped all the action from UFC 260. So a lot of really good insight there from Rashad last week. If you didn't catch it out, a lot of good feedback on this episode as well. I was pretty happy with it, Kendrick. We held it down with Rashad last week, didn't we?
Yeah, got a lot of positive feedback. Please send us your feedback, your questions. You can even hate on us. We take on everything.
We take on all comers. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but best believe but give us another few months. You're gonna know what the 1-2 is all about.
Absolutely. So we're really thrilled to do this show, episode number 2. We got a lot going on this weekend. We've got the UFC coming up on Saturday. We've got next week, we've got Askren and Paul, which is something we'll hopefully get to talk to Teofimo about in this interview. What else we got going on, Kendrick? We were talking off air. What else is on the docket?
I got Teofimo calling me right now.
He's calling you right now. We'll take this call and I'll hold up the fort here. I'll get you off the screen here and I'll just sort of hold up the fort as Kendrick is taking care of business right now. This is the beauty of doing a live show is we're taking care of business as we speak here. So we'll just wait for Kendrick to get that all sorted out. Again, thanks so much for joining us. This is the 1-2 with James and Kendrick. Did you guys have a good weekend? It was Easter weekend. We didn't have any fights. We had Bellator on Friday. I don't know if you guys caught that. Really exciting fight in the main event with Patricio Pitbull submitting Emmanuel Sanchez in the very first round. Pitbull's legit, man. I cannot wait for that fight with him and AJ McKee. Of course, kicking off the Showtime era for Bellator with Patricio Pitbull going out there and taking care of business right now. I think we got Kendrick back here. You back there? What's going on?
If it will be on 10 minutes.
10 minutes. We got the 10-minute countdown.
Work right now, man. We in the 10 minutes. He's in camp. I wouldn't give my man's last name. George, what's his last name? I would have put you today. I don't want to butcher the man's last name, but he's training for his next victim.
Yes, and that's coming up in June. We will definitely touch on that a little bit. We got so much to talk about with Teofimo in this fight here. Let me just look up the name because I had it there a second ago, but lots to obviously get into.
Sounds with the K. I can't even pronounce it. I want to butcher my man's name.
I think it's George Kambosos Jr. is how you say it. He's from Australia. I can't do a very good Australian accent.
He's training for George Kambosos right now as we speak. He shadowboxed his dad. Literally told me they'd be on 10 to 15 minutes. Part of doing this thing live, but we give it to you raw and uncut here on the 1-2.
That's the best part about the show, Kendrick. There are no scripts here. We banter, we talk. That's why we like the live element about it as well. If you guys remember last week, the Evans interview was pre-recorded. We're going to try and get these interviews on live if we can, just so you guys can interact with the fighters and we can get some questions in as well. So again, appreciate everyone tuning in and watching.
I mean, James, we talk, but we only talk about the show because we want to be that authentic.
Absolutely. That's
what's going on. We talk about everything but the show.
For sure, man. And that kind of brings me to my next question. What are you, when did you get to Florida? Kind of tell our audience what you're doing there.
I got to Florida last night. I've had meetings and stuff. We try to do some big things for the 1-2 behind the scenes. Things are going progressively well.
That's why he's wearing a suit, by the way. Kendrick's got to be official, right? So.
Yeah, I gotta be professional. We don't do the amateur stuff that's prevalent in combat sports. We bring it to you for professional and first class all the way.
Absolutely. And you're going to the UFC. You were telling me. You're telling me off air. You're going to cover the UFC card.
This guy got my credentials for UFC 261. Very pumped up for it. The second time. No, it's the third time I've been to a 3-title fight. So the first time I went, 3 people got their ass beat, got 3 new champions. So that was like the most historic night, in my opinion, that I've been to at UFC. I would say 217. It was in New York with when Joanna, Cody, and Michael Bisping all lost their belts to GSP, TJ, and Rose. Yeah, that was my first holy shit moment. I was there. That's when Joanna was steamrolling people. I just knew Joanna was gonna put them hands on her. My girl got balled up in the corner. and then it was tap tap.
Yeah, that was a crazy performance. We talked about this last week, actually. It's funny you brought that up because remember I couldn't go because my kid was born back in September. So it was a bummer I missed that one out, but I did go to the, I remember I went to the press tour because they did a press stop in Toronto. So I did get to talk to Bisping and GSP before that. So that was kind of cool as well.
Did you by chance go to the Mayweather McGregor?
No.
They did all that? Dude,
I did. I
went to the first one in LA.
No, I did go to that one. I went to the one in Toronto. Yeah,
I went to the one in LA to kick it off. Dude, I ain't never seen so many people wait outside for a fucking press conference. It took us like 2 hours to get in the Staples Center. And then they delivered
the AMAC thing at the Budweiser Stadium in Toronto. There was more media than I've ever seen in my entire life. The red carpet was packed. I was right beside Ariel Helwani I was like a vintage Patrick Ewing trying to get in there, trying to get a question in there with McGregor or Mayweather. I got like 30 seconds with Mayweather, but I'll take it. That was cool getting to talk to him. He he didn't like my question about McGregor's trash talk. I asked him if it was affecting him, and he's like, "What do you mean?" And he like got all kind of upset. But it was good, man. It was fun.
Floyd puts on the act. People, a lot of these boxers, and even some of these MMA guys, want to steal what Floyd does. If you go replicate him, you got to do the shit that nobody like. He'll sit there and say that he never studied an opponent. You don't whoop 50 people's asses and not study tape. Sorry, I just show up on fight night and like you got to play a game to the T. And McGregor's getting the closest in MMA. But speaking of McGregor, what do you think about him and Poirier? I think I would call it a legacy fight, but I think with what's going on the last couple of years. If Conor's going to be taken have that same kind of buzz behind him, he has to win this fight.
100%. The Conor McGregor business does not work if he loses fights. And last time I checked, he lost his last fight. Honestly, I think it's a bit of a mistake here because, and yes, he won the first round against Poirier, but to me, you got to give him a bounce back fight and then you do the Poirier trilogy. To me, it's just, I don't know. I think you're putting a lot of eggs in that one back set.
They should have put it for the belt. If they the way they're doing it, it's stupid without a belt. If they would have had a belt, I would agree with it. With it not having no belt, they should take the route that you're talking about, in my opinion.
But it's a tough sell, though, doing a trilogy fight with a belt with a guy who just lost in McGregor, right? So I can see them not doing that. That's why Chandler and Oliveira are fighting because they're coming off wins.
Yeah, but come on, you think Oliveira could beat Conor McGregor?
I do.
You do?
I do.
I think
you watch Charles Oliveira, Kendrick? He's good, man. You see what he did to our mutual friend Kevin Lee?
He's good, but he's not great. I don't think.
I disagree. Go watch that Tony Ferguson fight. See, this is why I like having you on here. We can argue a little bit. But I think Oliveira's going to win. I think he's going to beat Chandler.
I think Chandler's going to get his respect finally because I had Chandler beating winning his last fight. I thought it was crazy. It's like I wasn't surprised he did what he did. It's like he gets disrespected because he's in the JVs, but you can tell that guy is a special talent.
He's very good. And by the way, if people are tuning in right now, you're wondering where Teofimo Lopez is. He'll be here shortly. We're expecting 5 minutes. He'll be on the program here. So we're just bantering in the meantime. But let me get back to this disrespect of Charles Oliveira here. The Tony Ferguson fight, he dominated that. He almost ripped Tony Ferguson's arm off in that first round.
But Tony Ferguson is washed up though.
Is he? We'll find out. I mean, look, he got beat.
He did that Tony Ferguson that fought Kevin Lee. If he would have did it to that guy, then I'll be like, okay.
Fair enough.
I'm not trying to say he didn't have a dominant performance because he did, but that was the same Tony Ferguson.
Kevin Lee, though, before that, beating Kevin Lee at his own game, outstriking him, that was impressive.
Yeah, because I didn't think he had hands. So that was more impressive to me. Yeah, he showed me because I'm like, okay, he's kind of like I thought he was like a low key Damian Maia, basically. I knew a version, but them hands he put on Kevin Lee, that showed like, no, this dude can throw down if he had to.
Yeah, we'll see. That's part of that big card. By the way, we haven't even talked since they booked Nate Diaz against Leon Edwards. Were you surprised by that?
Yeah, but Nate Diaz is that guy. He can pop up. Like people don't understand. At the end of the day, it's all about making money. That's why Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor can pull the moves that they pull. Like I don't understand why people in the MMA world don't steal from that playbook because that's the only way you're gonna make money.
Well, if Diaz has clout, that's why he's getting the fight. Yeah,
but Diaz is making championship. There's some champions with belts that not making. You think Volansky or Jan Blachowicz is making what Nate Diaz? I don't even see the contracts. I guarantee they're not.
Yeah, no, it's true.
They're not.
All you have to do is beat Conor McGregor and you're set for life, right? That's what's happened to Diaz. He sort of gets to pick and choose, right?
That might as well have been a belt for him. That win might as well have been a belt for him.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. He's got, but here's what surprised me about the matchup itself is that like Leon Edwards, if you look at all of his opponents that Diaz has fought since beating McGregor, they've all been either champions or big names. Leon's kind of neither. I'm guessing the only reason he's taken this is just fast track at a title shot. That's the only reason I see him doing this because if he beats Edwards, then he'll probably get to fight the winner of Usman and Masvidal, I would think.
Edwards kind of reminded me of a smaller version of man. What's my guy? My guy Rumble knocked out. That was up in the
Oh,
UK.
Rumble. Well, Rumble's knocked out a lot of people. Kendrick, we could be here
Yeah,
all
but
day.
yeah, the guy from the UK that had a hype foot on him, and then Rumble. I was at the fight too. Went to the
Here.
strip club.
Let's look it up here. Anthony Johnson hasn't fought since 2017, so I got to refresh my memory of who he's knocked out.
What was this? What was it? That's gonna bother me. He's UK dude.
He's from the UK. Jimmy Manua.
Yeah, Manuel, that's who Leon Edwards, a smaller version. Of course, they find a bigger weight class. He kind of reminds me of that. It's like he had this nice winning streak, he had this impressive resume, but it's like, really, what have you done? And he saw somebody with the name, and we saw him looking at the lights. That's what I saw. And he takes him away Rumble in the press conference, and then meet him at a strip club to do this exclusive interview. That's what happened.
That's what you're gonna get from Kendrick.
True story.
Yeah, no, I believe it. I've seen you at events. I wouldn't put that past you at all.
Like, at the press conference, he's like, "Hey, meet me at Crazy Horse Street." I'm thinking it's just a regular spot. Yeah, I walk up in there. Oh, you here to see Mr. Johnson? I get whisked away. Me and my guest that's with me get whisked away, and it's like, boom, everywhere. Hey, it's like, that's where you go when you get done knocking out somebody. So, and the thing is, I get there at 1:00 Vegas time, so you know how late it is. We're here at 4:30. I still hadn't done the interview. I do the interview with them on the red carpet. It has Crazy Horse Street in the background. I'm doing it, upload before I go to sleep. I wake up at 1:00 or so the next day, Vegas time. I got like 10,000 views. Because this is right after the yoga incident. Remember, he had talked to nobody. He talked to yours truly first. And that kind of helped get your
That's because you got that rapport, Kendrick. I mean, that's what it's all about.
And speaking of Rumble, I'm going to get him the show. I can't guarantee you win because a lot of stuff behind the scenes, but he will be on the 1-2 in the near future. That's a guarantee. I just don't know when.
No worries. We're looking forward to that.
I don't throw out guarantees lightly. I'll get them on. I just don't know when.
I know. You can tell. Listen, when Kendrick's wearing the suit and tie, you know he means business. So we don't even need to pass him. Yeah. No,
like my man Jorge Masvidal, I said, super necessary.
Super necessary. Exactly. Back to the Edwards fight quickly. And again, we're waiting for Teofimo to show up here. We're just a few minutes away from him joining us here on the program. But yeah, I think this is a win-win for Leon Edwards here. I think it's a winnable fight. I don't know if you've taken a glance at the odds, Kendrick, but Leon Edwards is like a -450 favorite against Nate Diaz. He's been more active. He's, more well-rounded in my opinion. This is a winnable fight for him. And not just that, he gets a good payday out of it. It's 5 rounds. It's actually the first 5-round co-main event in UFC history, which is crazy. And then on top of that, he's probably going to get the title shot because he's fighting Diaz, because Diaz is a big enough name that would get him that. And don't believe me? Jorge Masvidal beat Nate Diaz and got a title shot as well. Yeah. So that's how it works. You beat a Nate Diaz, that counts for a lot. I'm
very intrigued by Masvidal, and I like Kamaru a lot. I've been a Kamaru fan from the jump. I didn't just jump on the bandwagon, but I like Masvidal's IQ and his veteranship. That win or lose, it's going to be a completely different fight in the first fight. I can almost guarantee you. I don't know what the hell we're going to see, but we're going to see something different than we saw the first time.
Yeah. It'll be interesting with the full camp. And he had to cut so much weight for that first fight, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm not going to say he's going to win because I still think that Kamaru finds a way to pull it off. But I would like to see him have Kamaru staggered like Gilbert had him and see if he gets off the hook. Because I think Jorge with the experience and just searching for that moment would take full advantage of it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I still think Usman's it's going to be a repeat of the first fight, but we'll see.
You think you mean repeat as in the final decision or repeat?
Yeah, I think it'll be. No, I think it'll be the same fight. I do, because Usman's got good wrestling. Even if let's say he decides to stand and trade with Masvidal and it's not going his way, he can always revert back to that wrestling. Masvidal's weaknesses is wrestling. Look at the Maia fight, the Thompson fight. Those were fights where he was out grappled, taken to the ground. Usman's got that in his back pocket.
I was at the Thompson fight. It's crazy too because he came out in the first couple of minutes like, he might get Wonderboy up out of there. And once Wonderboy found out how he could keep distance with the kicks and he could take him down here and there, because Wonderboy's not much of a wrestler, but he has more wrestling than him, and he used enough to get the decision.
Yeah,
that was in Dallas.
It was, yeah. I would figure. I mean, you're like every UFC card in Texas, right? It's like mandatory.
Here's the funny thing is I haven't been to. I went to the one in. We talking about that. John Jones and Reyes, but for then I hadn't do the political stuff behind the scenes. But hey, everything's good now.
Oh, look who we got here! We got Junior joining us on here. Teofimo Sr. joining us here on the program. Let's bring him in here, Kendrick. Kendrick, are you there? Oh, did we lose Kendrick? Give me 1 second. Kendrick, are you there, my man? All right, we're going to try and get Kendrick back 1 second here. All right. Hold on one sec. We're going to try and get Kendrick back here on the program. Just 1 second. I don't know if he's on his phone right now because I know we do have it there. I'm just going to send Kendrick a quick message. Beauty of doing a live show here. We'll put timestamps in the description, by the way, if you're watching the replay of this. Kendrick, are you back?
Man, I don't know what happened.
Well, either way, we're back. We got Teofimo Sr. here joining us here. Hello, sir. How are you?
How you guys doing? Everything okay?
Everything is great. Kendrick, I'll let you take it away, my man.
Please welcome to the 1-2, one of the best traders in the boxing world today.
What do you mean one of the best trainers? Stop that. Come on.
The rated 2000
in the game right now.
The rated 2020, the reigning trainer of the year, Mr.
And we're going to do it in 2021. We're going to do it in 2021 as well. And you can bet your money on that.
And for those who don't know Teofimo Sr., he predicted, I met him in New York, he predicted on that day that his son was going to do what he did for the last 2 years. I was one of the few people that believed him from the jump. I'm like, okay, this man's out for real. And I told him, I'm rocking with y'all. That's why he's on this show. And everything since that day has come true. So salute to you, Senior. I've formerly in the public forum, pops to you and your son on a hell of a 2020, getting a fight of the year, trainer of the year. So what lies ahead in 2021? How do you top that? How does Teofimo Lopez top that?
I don't see nobody doing it. I mean, and I don't see nobody ever doing it. And he did it with only 16 fights, 23 years old, you know. And it's just unbelievable. And I mean, and the guy you need to talk to is right here next to me. So, you know, with all due respect, Teofimo Lopez in the house right now.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Champ. What is up, brother?
How you guys doing?
Doing well. We're so happy to have you on here, man.
It's great to be on, man. Thank you guys.
But besides being a world champion, he's a world-class guy. The stuff he does behind the scenes and the charity work, salute to you, brother.
Thank you. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out where his I don't know how to work these.
No worries. We can see you. Can you see us?
Yeah, I can see you guys clearly.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
Why
How did training go today, man? We know that you just got out of there.
Oh no, I'm still in.
Oh, you're still in, so you're taking a break to join us here. We appreciate it.
No, of course, man. Anytime my dad is very big on Kendrick and obviously you guys. So it's all about that, man. And he's always been like that. He's always been mad supportive.
Yeah. No, Kendrick's.
So how do you type 2020 with all you did last year? Do you feel the pressure, or is this just like the beginning of the takeover? Because we saw it become a dream of reality last year. How do you take it to the next level in 2021?
The whole thing is all about making and creating big fights that everybody wants to come and watch and see. You know, for everyone out there that are just involved in the sport. It's not pressure. It's not pressure. This is something that I think a lot of us need to understand, or those that really believe in themselves, that all this comes, So whether you're trying to run from it or it feels like a lot of pressure, it's going to come eventually, no matter what. You can't stop it. So all you could do is just try to work around it and adapt to it and make it your environment. So my whole thing, man, it's all about making those big fights happen. What we're looking forward to doing is just chasing more belts, chasing more of the glory, and just sparking the industry and the sport of boxing.
Speaking of sparking the industry, how big a deal is to be the foreman on changing the game with the Triller deal, and you got the Devin Haney's and the Ryan Garcias jealous of you now because they want that clout, and they don't got the belt either.
Well, the whole thing, it goes to show. I mean, we don't, they're doing their own thing. They got their own journey and their own chapter, I could say. You know what I mean? And mine is this one, for a reason. It's been a long time coming. And all I can say now, whether they feel some type of way or whatever, it goes to show belts do matter. The belts do matter. And it goes to show when you go out there and you chase for the glory, everything else comes in a bundle.
Do you have to see them before your career's over with, regardless if it's 5 years from today? Do y'all have to have a round robin? I'm leaving out somebody. It's you, Devin, Ryan, and there's somebody else. Oh, Tank. Yeah, you got to see them before your career's over with.
Oh yeah, of course.
Not legal pending.
No, but yeah, absolutely, man. Of course, eventually that will come to that will come to terms. Right now we all got our own battles to go with right now, and then we'll have that war.
How much do you follow MMA on top of your boxing career? Because obviously there is a lot of crossover. We're seeing an MMA guy fight a boxer coming up here next weekend. How much do you sort of pay attention to that?
For me, the whole thing is with the whole MMA and stuff.
Yeah, just are you a fan? Like, do you watch any of the fights whenever you get a chance?
Oh, the whole thing, yeah, absolutely. Why not? On a Saturday night, there's not really much you can do, especially during these times still that we got, depending where you're at. And the whole thing is all about that. I think it's great. It's just entertainment, and it's cool to see, I guess, things like that somewhat, in this era.
Yeah. Is it cool though to see other fighters from MMA, give you props and, see those guys? Cause the fan bases are pretty divided. A lot of them are like, you got to like MMA or boxing, but then there's that crossover as well. It seems like there's a lot of respect from the MMA fighters towards you specifically.
Absolutely. Well, the whole thing is I look at it like it's mutual respect because of the fact that it's we all do this like somewhat the same thing. It's a combat sport for both ends. We go out there and we put our life on the line each time we go out there and we go to battle. So the whole thing is like I respect the UFC fighters, I respect the MMA fighters on all of what they do, and I'm sure they do the same as well. We all go out there even though we may not agree on certain things. But yeah, man, it feels great, man. It's a blessing, man. At this age, man, it's a lot to take in, and I'm very happy that I'm able to have that abundance of support and love.
So how you stay grounded with got all the belts, being in the top 2 or 3 in the sport now? How's that change for Teofimo, the man? How you stay grounded?
Just like I said, man. God first, and the support and love that I get from everyone. That's what keeps me. That's what keeps me motivated and going. And what keeps me grinded on it and just grinding. And you got to stay focused, man, because nothing in this life is promised. Eventually, when my time goes, man, there's gonna be a next. So the whole thing is all about beating the person that we got in front of us, and then when that time goes, man, the time goes.
And how much of your structure as well is from your dad, because I'm sure like, you probably have to stay in line because your dad would be the first one to say, hey, you got to get in the gym, no out partying or whatever, right? Like how much does he sort of make you right on the right path there?
A huge part. He's a major key factor in this, and he's always been on me about certain things like that to the point where now I feel off if I'm not, if I'm not doing it, I feel like I'm not doing something, I'm not doing my part. And that's the whole thing. So I thank my father for being that type of motivational person for me to keep me going. And I think that we all need that, and I'm very blessed and thankful that I'm actually able to have my father be that person for me.
Get some insight to your mindset with George. George fight. A lot of people kind of like overlooking him. I know you don't overlook nobody. So how you stay focused with being a heavy favorite and people expect you to put on a show, takeover style?
The whole thing, man, it's just absolutely, whoever they put in front of me. Right now we have George Kambosos Jr. for a reason. And the reason is that whatever that reason may be, he's in front of me, man.
Right?
Huh?
Mandatory, right?
Yes, my mentor. And the whole thing, really now is just going out there and finishing with a knockout. I don't see, but we see how this fight goes, man. But I don't see it passing. I don't see it passing any past like 6 rounds. I just don't. But got to give the guy credit, and we'll see what he brings. Fight night.
Yeah, and we're early April. Like, how do you structure a fight that's so far away? Like in June, like does it ramp up sort of closer to fight time? Like, how do you go about structuring a fight when you get this much notice?
Oh man, time flies, man. Time flies when you're having fun, So I'm always having fun in the gym, and it's a great thing, man. It's a great feeling. So you'd be surprised. I mean, like 3 weeks already passed for me, and I'm just like, whoa, that was quick. It's a quick turnaround. So, I'm happy, man. Miami, Florida. Oh man, it's gonna be fun.
I'm in Florida right now. I'm in Tampa, man. That's why I got this beautiful background right there. So I already know. I'm ready to come to Miami and see you do your thing. On the boxing side and the politics side, I know you don't want to talk about Lomachenko. How's it funny that they talk about he's supposed to fight Nagataki, and they talked all that shit for you fighting him and not getting him out of there. Now they talk about him fighting him now. Is that kind of like surreal, kind of like poetic justice?
No, all I think of now is that they both have something in common, at least. They lost to me. So I think that but it's something that they could talk about, down the line. But I think it's a great fight, great matchup. And for anyone talking about it, it just goes to show you guys, but hey, it is what it is. People gonna talk. Like I said before, people gonna talk. They're gonna continue to talk, but it's, you gotta worry when they're not talking about you.
The about you that you got people hating on you, like you see, like in some of these chat forums. Oh, Teofimo Lopez is a weight bully. Last time I checked, you make the weight. That's what you're supposed to do, and you knock the people out. That's what you're supposed to do. So what's a weight bully? I don't know what that is. Does that bother you that people try to say all this stuff despite your success? You being the youngest undisputed champion, you still got haters out there for no reason.
Oh, there's a lot of reasons, man. Wasn't supposed to make it out. That's all. That's the reason. But we did. We stood determined, and the whole thing was really just the sacrifices, the amount of work and sacrifice that we put into what we do. 18 years. So for anyone that does want to hate on anything, it's just because it's actually just it's a reflection of their insecurities, something that they may want to be or have become. So in a way, hate is just a way of looking at it's just a jealousy way of saying they love you, they support you. So I think it all works in a modest and generous way, and I think that it's we all need that. It's a yin and yang. You need the negative, you need the positive.
Yeah, fuels you.
And that's what I like. I gotta keep my foot on everybody's neck. I'm just playing.
Talked a little bit about MMA earlier. Obviously, I talked about it there. We have that big boxing fight next week between Ben Askren and Jake Paul. What do you think of the whole MMA, boxing crossover with, this YouTube guy and Jake Paul wanting to fight Ben Askren? What do you think of that match itself? Is it something you'll watch, or do you think it's like, because there's obviously a split opinions on that type of matchmaking?
Is it comedy?
We'll honestly, what I say is that we'll when that day comes, we'll see. It's definitely a fight for everyone to tune in. It gets to show, combat sport athletes, people that actually do the sport, that they truly admire, that take seriously. Go out there and show this young buck what the real world is like. And we'll see what happens. So I think it'll be great. And it's just in reality how I look at it in today's times right now, and how everything is. It's all part of entertainment, and we all got to actually think about that and enjoy it.
Do you think Askren can win? And the reason I mention that is because
absolutely, I'm rooting for him to win.
Well, I don't know if you saw either. The lines flipped on the fight. So initially, Jake Paul was the favorite. Now Ben Askren's the favorite. I don't know if that presser had anything to do with it. But what do you think of that Askren now is finally getting the respect from the combat sports community?
Good for him. He deserves it, man. Good for him. Go out there and do it now. Go out there and show it. That's all I can say, man. Now that you have everybody behind your back, now it's all about starting your engine and your train, and just let's all enjoy.
How do you think the fight plays out?
Somebody's getting dropped. I think so.
Yeah? Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Interesting. This should be good.
How many times you plan on fighting in 2021, and how active you plan on being?
Say that again?
How many times you plan on fighting in 2021, and how active you plan on being?
My goal, if hypothetically speaking, or just something in my way of saying, say 3 fights. It's my dream goal right now for this year is to fight 3 times, but worst case scenario will be fighting twice.
So you're a pay-per-view guy from now
on? We'll see. Absolutely. We'll see. We'll see what happens, and we'll see what numbers we bring up on this time.
2 million.
You just got a phone call. I could hear
2 million.
That's awesome. You're a popular guy, man. So that's good.
That's
And last, I know time is short. What you want people to know about Teofimo Lopez, the man that they don't see, because you show up, you do your thing, and then you go under recluse for like a month or two, and then we don't see you no more. So what's some insight to Teofimo Lopez, the man that people don't see that you want them to know about?
I just go out and have fun and live my best life, man. And the whole thing is just taking your time away from, I guess, reality. You know, probably go under the radar for a little bit, you know, and then appear when people least expect it. You know, the only reason is just this life that I guess, you know, where I'm going to now is different. So the whole thing is just trying to find a balance.
Last one for me, and then Kendrick will wrap things up. I've been talking a lot of MMA here. Obviously, MMA is sort of more my beat. Is there any fighters you enjoy watching that when I say that come to mind when you think of fighters that you enjoy watching in MMA right now?
In MMA?
Yeah.
I do like Masvidal.
Yeah?
I do like him a lot. Yeah. You know, and I like him, man. I like his style and his swag, man. The way he walks and the way he's about his business. I like that, man. And you know, it's a lot of great entertainment, man. So, yeah, who else I could think of, man? Of course, Amanda Nunes, Clarissa Shields in boxing, you know, and, you know, I support them and what they do. Who else I could think? Man, there's so many. All I know is that right now is a great time for the sport, and right now is a great time for all sports around.
I agree.
How much do you feel blessed to be a face of the sport? Because when you got the short list, of course you start with Canelo, and then you could be anywhere from 2 to 3, but your name comes up pretty quickly as a face of the sport of boxing. And you're only 23 years old, so we got a lot left over for the takeover. So how's that feel that you get all this love so early in your career?
I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful. You know, that's all I can say, man. At this point in time, you know, everything that I prayed for, it came to fruition for a reason, you know, and I'm thankful for it. Me and my father, me and my father, we did our thing together, and we stuck through it through hard times, and no matter what, you know. And the whole thing now is just about keeping it, and that's all we plan on intending on doing.
Perfect way to close out this interview, man. Thanks for your time, champ. I know you're very busy in camp. I'm gonna work with your dad. I'm gonna go out to Vegas and try to come to camp for a day, so I can catch you doing your thing, man. I always think you should show me love and come out to the 1-2. And can we get you on after you get that win so you can talk about your latest conqueror after you get that knockout with the 6 rounds?
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I think that you guys, man, I'm very appreciative, and thank you guys for your time, for real. And
thank you, man.
I look forward to many more.
You bet.
All right, see you in Vegas soon, brother.
Take it easy.
Guys. Anyway, all I gotta say is, don't miss the fight. You know, I don't know the date yet, you know, but you guys know the date, and just be there, tune in, because it's not gonna go past 3 rounds, and I'm guaranteeing you that 100% right now.
There you go.
You know, we're gonna get ready for that fight. Listen, man, my son just took off right now. He was doing this little thing in the gym, and we took a time off to come and be with you guys. So, it's great for him to do things like that. You know, he's got to talk to his people, and I'm very happy for that. And we're just gonna go back right now and do our thing like we always do. You know, we don't take nobody, like lightly. You know, we always fight. You know, we always train to win. With the top dudes, and that's what it is. You know, the takeover. You know.
See, what if you can script what his path? Do y'all have to see Tank, Ryan, and Devin before his career's over with, regardless if it's 2-3 years down the line?
Man, I hope so, man. Those are the fights we want, and let's see what happens. It's up to them. It's up to them, but we ready.
And for people that think that you're just talking crazy, give us some insight. Where's this bravado come from? Because I know you've been right. Like he just said 3 rounds. James don't know. James, that means the fight's going in with the 3 rounds. He's been right the last 3 years. Where does this come from? Why are you so active?
Man, this comes from us fighting the guys that nobody wants to fight. And you don't see them trying to fight nobody. You know, you come in and try to fight Linares. You know, what's the weakest link in the 135 weight division? Come on. People not stupid. Luke Campbell, Linares. Those are the weakest link. Why you don't go after the real guys? go after the Comeys, go after the Nakatanis, just, destroy Verdejo. A guy that went down twice, came back. Those are the guys that the people are scared of. Those are the guys they don't want to face. We already faced them. We won, and we looking to fight the Josh Taylors, the Jose Ramirez. We going to another weight division. So, our hunger. Our hunger, and we real. There's no faking my son. We fight anybody. He ain't scared of nobody. It was up to him to fight Canelo tomorrow.
Two-part question.
But that day
one. So y'all are going to eventually move to 140. And two, does it trip you out that your man Lomachenko is fighting Nakatani when y'all got all that criticism for fighting him and not getting him out of there? Does it kind of ironic that now Lomachenko has to fight him?
Exactly, because Lomachenko is looking for greatness. A fight with Nakatani will put him up there. He knows a fight with Linares is out of the question. He beat him already. A fight with Luke Campbell, he beat him already. So what? He comes and he wants to be great. And he wants to take a challenge. He's upset. He's angry. I understand him. I don't take nothing away from Lomachenko, man. I think that he's the best at 135 right now. And I don't think anybody could beat him. Besides my son.
Yeah.
when you say with despite the win over Lomachenko, people still criticize Teo Jr. for saying that he faded off. They said that, you can get him in the late rounds. He don't got the gas tank.
Listen, let me tell you something. If you're a real boxing fan, if you're really boxing expert and you sit down and you watch that fight, okay, Lomachenko didn't win. My son won 11 rounds out of 12. That lady had it right. Just look at the rounds. Look at the round. You cannot win a round by doing good for 5 seconds, 7 seconds, and then all of a sudden, retreat. You got to keep on fighting. And my son kept the pace for like 2 minutes and 40 seconds of every round. That's domination. Only because Loma did good for 5, 6 seconds. 7 seconds. The most I counted was 10 seconds, and that was in I think that was in the 11th round, which was the round that I thought he lost. The only one, because I had him winning every other round. I know what the judges were looking at, and Loma was just retreating. He didn't want to go toe to toe with my son, and when he did, he played dirty. He tried to go in with his head, and that was working for him. Because the referee wasn't doing nothing about it. That head. When he hit my son and he cut him in the last round, he stops the fucking fight. Come on, man. There's only 10 seconds left. That was ridiculous. But we showed everything in the 12th round. My son was fresh. He could have went 15, 16, 17 rounds. He was just holding the gas. Because I know how he is. He always holds 20% of himself. He's not going to give you everything because in case he's in an emergency, he'll use that. And I understand him. He's a very, very smart fighter in that ring. And no matter what you tell him in the corner, he's always going to believe in him having that 20% more in his body in case he gets in trouble. And that's what happened. And in the 12th round, I told him, listen, they could rob us, bro. You got to go in there and take it. Bro. You got to let go of the gas. I know you're holding on to 20% of your gas. Let it go right now. And he looked like he was going into the first round. It was a beautiful performance. I'm happy with it. But this fight just made him even better. And people don't understand that. When you fight top level guys like Lomachenko, the top in the world, guarantee you my son got better from that fight.
Would you say
everybody's gonna see it when we fight Kambosos?
Would you say that 140 is his optimal weight?
No, what? No, I said that 140 weight division. That's where we want to go next. If we have the opportunity to take those 4 belts, I'm not going backwards. We're going forward. If we get 4 more belts, guarantee you I'm gonna get them.
No, I'm saying, what you think? Do you think that would be when we see the best Teofimo at 140? Like we haven't seen him at his best weight.
The bigger the weight, the better he's gonna look. You know what I'm saying? Because he's gonna be faster than the other guys, gonna be stronger. You know, he already shows that he could move up to those levels. You know, the other guys haven't shown that. You know, you can't say nothing about Tank because Tank just knocked out a 126 pounder. So you don't know how good he's gonna be at 140. You know, so we're ready. You know, we're killing everybody at 135. So that shows you that at 140, my son's gonna be a bigger monster. You know, because then he doesn't have to like lose all that weight, and that's gonna make him, feel better, perform better. So I'm really optimistic with him going up to 140, 147, 154. I think he's the only one that could do it. These other guys have question marks all over the fucking place.
Before we let you go, I got to ask you about the Askren and Jake Paul fight. Are you going to be watching that next Saturday?
Hey, it's going to be a surprise. You never know. We might be there.
Ooh, there you go.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, we with Thriller. We with Thriller, so you know what that means. And it'll be a surprise. You never know. Let's see what happens.
So since you brought that
but
up,
I support it though. I support it.
Yeah.
So are y'all unofficially? What's Top Rank in this equation? They still in the
Top
equation.
Rank is just gonna sit back and fucking collect money. That's all they got to do. They sit back and collect money. That's it. There's no. We still love Top Rank. They give us a platform. They got us where we at. Even though I did all the talking and I did all the promoting, nobody believed in my son but me. But we still owe them something. You know what I'm saying? And I respect Bob. And let's see what happens after this. I hope I hope they understand how much my son is really worth. And sometimes you gotta go out there and show the whole world, man, that what is your worth. Now they know, so now they're gonna have to respect us, because if not, somebody else is gonna take it.
How to feel to bet on yourself and win.
I told my son, yo, we ain't fighting no more, bro. Forget about it. If they're giving us 1.2 million, we ain't fighting no more. I don't want to fight. I don't want you fighting no more. You risking your life in there, man. We got 4 belts, and these guys are trying to treat us like we ain't shit. Screw them. I want to let my son fight. I told him, we're gonna fight for 1 million again. Hell no. I told my son, put your foot down, show these guys how much you're worth. And I knew we was gonna win in the purse bid, bro. It was just easy. You know why? Because those people don't know shit about boxing. They don't know what the hell they have. They don't know what the hell they doing. They're just listening to people because they hate us in the organization. When they don't know that this kid's gonna make them, it's gonna pick this company back up. Why can't you make him another Manny Pacquiao? Why? Because of the hate. Because of my mouth, maybe. Because of my mouth, I don't know. Because of something they don't like about us. But we're doing everything right, man. We're beating everybody that they thought they were freaking special, man. I mean, Bob thought that freaking Lomachenko was Muhammad Ali. Better than him. He thought Lomachenko was like the best trainer ever in the freaking planet. So why can't you give us that? We just beat your best, man. And I don't take nothing away from Lomachenko. I mean, I think nobody could beat that guy, man. That guy's very difficult. But we figured it out. That's why I'm trainer of the year. That's why he's fighter of the year. That's why my manager is fighter of the year. We did a trio, bro. You know why? Because we know what we're doing. And I knew how to beat this guy. And I told everybody, every day, we're going to beat this guy in our 16th fight. I even set the fucking number, which is crazy. I said he was going to be world champion in 50 fights. And in 60 fights, he was going to be, he was going to take all the belts. So we did it.
Behind the scenes, I appreciate you. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, I gotta go train the champ, man. Without me training him, this could never be possible. But listen, as long as I'm in that corner and I'm living, bro, that kid's gonna win every fight, and I'm just so happy for him.
And behind the scenes, man, I'm gonna make my way out to Vegas and come and spend a day in camp with y'all, man.
Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of views for this one, man. It's a takeover, man. Everything I say, I make it happen. And you
Yeah.
know that. There's no
Yeah.
lying in us. No lying in us.
Sir.
You got it.
Appreciate you coming on. Looking forward to the next one. Thanks for joining us.
Love you guys. Take care.
Take it easy.
Appreciate it.
There you go. What an interview, man. Was that not awesome?
Did I tell you, Jay? See, Jason's never talked to the Lopez's. I told him, you don't know where this is going to go, but it's going to go in a good direction. Did I tell you that? I didn't know where we were going to go.
No,
but we went everywhere.
Right. By the way, just so you guys know, like Kendrick and I write a couple bullet points, but we just sort of freestyle this. Like the fact we got this chemistry already 2 episodes in, man, it's unbelievable. It's great. So I think one time I interrupted you, but other than that, we're pretty good. So
yeah, I try to cut them off because like they can be long-winded because like you got to keep them on course. Yeah, but like behind the scenes, I'll try to get them to talk about. Me and him have talked to New York, Dallas, Las Vegas, and California about the whooping Lomachenko for the last 2 years.
And that's one thing that separates you. And I can relate in my industry, man. You get on a level with these fighters and these trainers that a lot of other people in this industry don't. And that's why you're able to get the access. And it's not even about, you know, kissing ass or anything. It's about getting on their level, talking to them like they want to be talked to, right? And that's something you're very good at. So if you guys are watching this show, expect more of these types of guests on here because we're very good when it comes to, you know, talking to fighters, interviewing fighters. We know our shit, and we have that good rapport, Kendrick. That's sort of what gets us where we need to get.
I already had a Hall of Famer and the youngest Undisputed champion in boxing history, and we just 2 shows in.
I know exactly, just 2 shows in, man. So anything that's stood out to you. The one thing that caught, there's a couple things that caught my eye in that chat with Teofimo was that the move up to 140. Were you expecting to hear that? Because I think that's interesting.
Yeah, not the percentage, but they talked about it because they figured they match up with those guys because size-wise, he's just as big as those 2 fighters. That's why people call him a weight bully because he cuts down. I don't understand how can you be the weight bully when you make the fucking weight because
and they say that in MMA too. It's stupid.
That's easy to do.
Yeah.
He's not pulling a Yoel Romero coming in 2 or 3 pounds heavy. He comes in, makes the weight, and then he shows up on Saturday night and puts on the show. That's why he's a takeover. So, what is a weight bully? I'm sure asking people, like, what is a weight bully?
People think that cutting weight's cheating, but you still have to make weight. You're depleting your body. It's stupid. We see that in MMA too.
And you got to perform too. We see people in MMA that can't make the weight.
People called George St. Pierre that for years because they said he was so big for the weight class. It's like, but he still has to make weight. Like, I don't get it. So,
but the thing is, though, I always thought that was a myth with GSP because he couldn't fight at 185 consistently. In his prime, he could have. He would have been as dominant. He would have took a loss somewhere.
Easily. I think he would have lost to Anderson if he would have moved up. In Anderson's prime,
I'm not saying he couldn't have fought. Some people like, oh, you hate no GSP. I love GSP.
Canadian right here. I'm telling you, would have lost Anderson Silva. Trust me.
Yeah, I'm saying he
call it like it is here on the one too.
But so tell me this thing. I want to see how it would look. Did he lose to Johnny Hendricks? Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. See, this is coming from a Canadian here. So there you go. We got Walter in the chat. Sorry, I'm just seeing these questions now.
Let's go.
He was asking Teofimo a few questions here, just some comments. But if anyone else is watching and want to get your questions in, we got about 13 minutes left here on the chat. The other thing I found interesting is him liking Masvidal. I think that's cool. Shout out to Jorge Masvidal. Teofimo Lopez is a fan of his, not just his fight style, but his swagger. Masvidal is one of those guys that transcends MMA. Like everyone knows who he is, and that's what got him that Usman fight. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah, but do you think can he sustain that? Because he like saying he's been in the sport for a long time, and he had the 3 crazy knockouts, and then the Diaz fight. So how much can he sustain it without a belt? I think he solidifies it. He needs that belt more than most people do. He gets that belt. He's a Hall of Famer, and he can be Scarface for life. If he doesn't get the belt, he's a character in MMA, but
he'll go into where the Diaz brothers are. The Diaz brothers never won a championship. Exactly. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I'll tell you what, you'd rather be a Jorge Masvidal than say Leon Edwards. Well, no, I'm even thinking like a champion that like no one really knows about. Like it's Jan Blachowicz. Let's be real here. Jan Blachowicz, I love the guy, great fighter, deserves everything he's getting. But Jorge Masvidal is widely more popular than Jan Blachowicz is, and it's just the way it is. It's entertainment too, right, Kendrick? So,
and then to his credit, he's spending his game like he was a Super Bowl week during Super Bowl, and he's big in Miami. He was at Canelo's fight. I'm mad I didn't go to Canelo fight in Miami now. But I'm being in Tampa and getting used to it. I've never been in Tampa in my life, bro. I've been 4 times in the last 6 months for various business reasons. But I got to go to Miami now, so I'm gonna find a way to that fight. 1,000%. Like I was on the fence. That interview got me jumping all the way over it. Like I'm booking my trip next week to Miami.
There you go. I'll be looking forward to that. We got some other things we got to talk about here. Again, if you guys have any questions, just post them in the chat here. We'll get to them as soon as we can. We got to talk quickly, Kendrick. We got the Kevin Holland and Marvin Vettori fight this Saturday. So Holland stepping in on short notice. Darren Till was supposed to fight Marvin Vettori. He gets a shoulder injury. Holland steps in just a couple weeks after losing to Derek Brunson. What do you think of that fight with Holland? Like, this is my thing with this fight because Vettori is like a 3-1 favorite. Holland's got nothing to lose here. He's already talked about going down to 170. All he has to do is go in there and look halfway decent. And you know, that's a scary thing because Vettori, he has way more to lose here. If he doesn't beat Kevin Holland, he's at the back of the line. If he beats Kevin Holland, he's towards that contender spot. What do you think of Saturday's fight?
It's really interesting to see. Kevin Holland, I don't understand, like, in this MMA that we live in, how the F can you be want to be an elite fighter, but you got a major hole in your game? Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing with your life in practice?
Yeah.
You can't wrestle.
Yeah. He's got a weakness. And I think Vettori, all he needs to do is get this to the ground, and it's probably going to be a good night for him, you know? So
probably. That's a guarantee. Did you not watch the fight 2 weeks ago?
Well, no, exactly. And Brunson, and I called Brunson. I said Brunson was going to win in that fight. Everyone was hyping up Holland. And look, I like Holland. I think he's a great personality. I think he's an exciting fighter. But there's levels to this. And when you beat 5 unranked guys, which is what Holland did last year, you can't look past a guy in Brunson who has wins over ranked opponents. That's the difference. It's the level of competition. Once you face someone that's actually legit, like a Derek Brunson, you look what happens. He gets it's a one-sided fight.
But he exposed that Derek Brunson's chin is shaky at best.
It's always been that way. But you look at who he's getting knocked out by Adesanya. I mean, we're talking, or not Adesanya, but Whitaker. He's getting finished by really good guys here. I think the old Derek Brunson would have been finished by Kevin Holland, but since he's gone to Sanford, training with Henry Hoofton, those guys over there, he's looked a lot better. So we'll see what's next for Derek Brunson. They're talking maybe Paulo Costa, but I'm going Vettori on Saturday. I'm assuming you're going the same way.
Yeah, yes, sir. And also, too, you kind of touched on something. How much does this may sound silly? How much do somebody's count? Because, like, everybody has these camps and trainers have the system. How much do you really think that that makes a big deal in the actual fight? Because
I think it does, because if you're training with really good training partners, like high level guys, you're already sort of getting that, you know, battle tested experience. If you're the big fish in the gym and you're beating up on small guys, what are you learning? You need that push from certain training partners. So I think camps do play a factor in fights. And I think that's something for Holland that he needs to do. He trains with Travis Lutter, Travis Lutter, former title challenger in the UFC, but is he getting that push that say like a Derek Brunson's getting, or Vettori? In Vittori's case, he's got Calvin Gastelum kicking his ass. He's got all these other guys at that gym pushing him. I think it definitely plays a role in certain fights. So we'll see on Saturday if that ends up happening as well.
And another tease for a future guest, I'm working behind the scenes on get Eric Nixon, because that guy, if there's we just got to talking to the 2020 training year for boxing, he's got a leg up on 2021 training year in MMA. That guy's already had a year in like 3 months.
Yeah, and Eric I know quite well. So if you need any assist on that one, Kendrick, I'm your guy because I know Eric quite well in terms of that. Let's get to a couple questions here, and then we'll wrap up the show. Does Katz and Gano finish Parker in round 1? So that's in Bellator. That's in Bellator, and that's Katz and Gano's fighting Liv Parker in Bellator. I think it's it's this weekend actually for Bellator. It's a setup fight, Kendrick. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Liv Parker has fought nothing but cans. Zingano's legit, former, has a win over Amanda Nunes. I think, does she finish her in round 1? Maybe, but she definitely wins that fight. That's what I think. They're trying to set Kat to beat this girl in highlight reel fashion so she can fight Cyborg. That's what I think.
I think Kat won't get finished by Cyborg, but I don't think she can beat Cyborg.
No,
but I love me some Kathy Lee. She's like, only my mom can call me that.
There you go. And then another boxing question: does Canelo beat Billy Joe by KO or by decision?
Decision. I'll be there May 8th in Dallas, Texas, at AT&T Stadium, technically Arlington, Texas. But Canelo might finish him and be like. The thing is, Billy Joe cannot beat Canelo under any circumstances because the person that beat Canelo has power. Billy Joe only has 15 KOs. That alone tells me you're wasting your time, brother. You come to get paid.
What else we got going on? We got Bellator this weekend. We've got the UFC this weekend. Anything else? What do you got going on, Kendrick? I mean, you're in Florida. I know you're doing some business. What's on the docket for the next little bit? I
actually been watching Bellator. I might. I'm thinking only for show purposes only. So I'm even interested because with people like Rumble, I want to see the presentation on Showtime. See, even like if you say for instance they have like 10 things and you only take 2 of them. That's 2 things you might want to see in the UFC. That presentation, they just steal that or something like that. So I just want to see how the presentation look on Showtime
It looked good last week. I watched it. So we don't get Showtime in Canada, but they had it on YouTube. So I got to catch the fights and the highlights. It was great. Great fight, by the way. If you didn't see it, Kendrick, Patricio Pitbull, Emmanuel Sanchez. Pitbull looked legit, man. He got a quick win over Sanchez, finished him in the first round.
Wow.
He's got that win.
I'm gonna Google that tonight. I'm gonna Google that fight.
Yeah, so he's got a win over Michael Chandler. He actually knocked out Chandler in 2019, I think. So Pitbull's pretty legit, man. He's a good
I would say this. I told you 2 weeks ago. That's the guy I want to see the UFC. The one person you can see the UFC that's not there. I want to see that guy.
And the guy who's going to be fighting that, AJ McKee. That guy's the star in Bellator. You'll be hearing his name pretty soon. And that's a really fun fight with him and Pitbull because AJ McKee's very legit. So we'll see. We got that going on. What else? Yeah, so we got Friday. We got the Bellator card. Ryan Bader, Lyoto Machida, the rematch no one wanted. But, hey, we're going to watch it, right, on Friday. So there we go. We got Liz Carmouche on the card. We've got Kat Zingano. We've got Julia Budd, the former champ. So pretty decent card overall for what Bellator is offering. But I think last week's card was a little bit stronger in terms of some of the names on there. But we'll see. So if Kendrick's going to watch it, then it's probably a good card.
What is Rumble and Yoel fight? What day is that?
That got postponed, so that's going to be in a little bit. Let me just find the date here right now. But I know it got moved. I'm not sure why it was moved. But
you're not official Bellator official,
yeah. So it's supposed to be. So the fight was supposed to take place now on May 7th. So that'll be coming up here pretty soon, actually, because we're in April now, right? So.
Oh shit! That's the same against Canelo fight.
What are you going to do? You're conflicted, man.
But Canelo's that Saturday though. It's the 8th, so. I can watch it. I won't be at it, but I'll be in Canelo fight, so I'll watch my man Rumble. So that gives the time. I'm gonna put pressure on myself. I'm gonna find a way to get Rumble on the show before that fight.
Of course,
watch.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, we'll do it up. We got a lot of big guests ahead here on the program. We'll take some more questions here. We got a couple minutes left on the show. What else we got coming up?
Get on the show.
Yeah. I mean, we should. Yeah. Well, even if you're not watching live, if you're in the comments, if there's a guest you want on here, we'll get them. We're very much both in MMA and in boxing. We're going to be working the phones. We're going to be getting you guys the best guests possible on this program here, and you get a little bit of a different mix, right? It's not your scripted, typical stuff. You're going to get the 1-2 with James and Kendrick. That's the name of the show, but that's pretty much what we do here. We give you guys something a little bit different when it comes to our interviews. So
exactly, and don't send the big names like a Canelo or Earl Spence. They don't do talking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'd have to get a translator and all that stuff and all that.
Well, Earl Spence, he's American, but Earl Spence won't talk. I've been in the man's gym, and he'll talk to me all he wants. As soon as the camera come on, he don't talk.
Yeah, we got a shout out to Walter here in the chat. He says Boots Ennis and Vargas also a good fight this weekend. I forgot about that.
Boots Ennis, he's a problem. A lot of people will see him and our man Virgil Ortiz Jr. fight. Those two are fighting for like that next spot after you got the Crawford and the Spences, and then you got Boots Ennis and Ortiz coming up to catch these guys. That's for real.
No, for sure. Probably a good time to wrap up the show. We're coming up to the top of the hour here. Next week, we got a really big show. I mean, we're still working on the guests, but we've got a lot going on. We got the Robert Whitaker fight next Saturday. Plus, we've got Askren and Paul coming up here next Saturday as well. So a lot to talk about next week. A lot going on, like I said, in the combat sports world as well. And we're going to be kicking it here. Like we said, every Monday we're live, 5 p.m. Eastern time, 2 p.m. Pacific time on the West Coast. So make sure you're tuning in every single week. Kendrick, anything you got coming up this week that you can plug, any social media, anything like that? I'll give you the last word, my man.
No, not this week. I'm straight business side, hence the suit. But please keep tuning in. Thank you, Teofimo Lopez Sr. Thank you, Teofimo Lopez Jr. for coming on the show and making the 1-2 episode 2 a classic.
And hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I told Kendrick to get the last word, but of course I got to lie every now and then to our audience. But feedback, leave us your comments. Who do you want to see on the show? What are some things you want us to talk about? We're totally open and we want to be interactive with you guys. Shout out to Next Gen Sports for making this all possible. Our man Eric behind the scenes doing everything. We really appreciate it. We will see you guys next week, 5 p.m. Eastern time, 2 p.m. Pacific time here for the 1-2 with James and Kendrick. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys soon. Have a great rest of your week.